All right. Okay. Well, welcome to my live power hour that I'm going to share with you today. And first of all, your power hour is just a concentrated amount of time that you devote to your business. And I found this to be most effective for me because it actually gives my business focus instead of doing it in power pockets throughout the day. But if all you have is power pockets, then do each of these sections at a time in a small amount of time throughout your day. And that's totally fine. Just I found for me, getting up in the morning, getting it done, doing my miracle morning is great. The other thing that I do want to say is that I do my personal development outside of this hour because I feel like that's super important for me. So usually what I'll do is I'll spend 15 to 20 minutes doing like my quiet time, spending time in spiritual personal development, and then also in some kind of other development as well. Today, I'm going to be doing that, but I'm going to also be listening to the National Wake Up Call for my personal development because it's Monday. So as you can see, if you printed out your tracker, if you're new to coaching, first of all, you can use whatever tracker works best for you. So there's a bunch in our team page. But I recently did this one. It's our monthly business tracker. And if you do these basic things, this is going to move your business forward. So just be aware that we might be kind of extending outside of this a little bit, or you might need to, and that's totally okay. But if you do these things, for sure, you're going to move your business forward. So I'm going to be kind of going off of this, but also kind of off of the Diamond Daily group that's going on right now too. So kind of both, and give you some ideas of what I do, but it all connects. Okay. All right. So I like to use a timer. So lots of times I do it on my phone, but I'm going to do it on here today because it's easier. And so what I always do is I start out my power hour with affirmations, and for me, a little bit of prayer, just going into it because I know that sometimes inviting, especially if you're new to it, can be scary. It can be intimidating, but it's really not. And so the way that you speak to yourself while you do it makes a huge difference. So I'm going to share this with you, and we're going to take 2 minutes, and I want you to just in your head and speak these things to yourself, okay? And your bottom thing might be different than what mine is, okay? But these are the things that I'm speaking into my life right now as I go into this. And this is the way I want to think as I invite and as I share. So I'm going to give us 2 minutes to speak these to ourselves a couple of times. I like to say them to myself like maybe 2 times in my head, read them through, really think about what they're saying. And then for me, I like to just like pray that will happen, that I can be these things when I invite and share. So, all right, 2 minutes. Oh, one other thing. Sometimes it's most effective for me to rewrite these things out too. So I'm seeing them come out on paper, and that really helps me too. So if that's helpful for you, that's what I'm going to do today too. And your affirmations may be different. That's the last thing I'll say too. You can think up your own. These are just the ones I put out for us today if you need some to use. Okay. All right. So the next thing that I do, especially on a Monday, is I like to get out my calendar really fast. and which you can do this on your phone or if you have a paper calendar, but I like to write down for the week what things I have so I know I'm looking ahead at the week, and any important things, like if I have a call to action post I need to make, all that stuff, I like to just look at my calendar and put it in at the beginning of the week. So for example, I'm going to look here on my calendar, I'm going to put in National Wake Up Call. I want to listen to that at some point today. And my girls have swim lessons, so I'm going to put that in. I'm going to mark down when I'm going to do my power hour every day, and also when I want to do a transformation post and when I want to do my next call to action post. So just take a second, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to just write in your calendar, and so that you can get that done. Okay, all right. We'll come back to that later too. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the bulk of our power hour. So first thing we're gonna do is I want you to go to Facebook. Okay, and I'm gonna do this with you guys. We're in this together. The very first thing that I do is I go to Facebook. And I am, at the beginning of the week, I really like to focus on inviting and really I front load my inviting, usually in the first part of the week. It doesn't mean that I don't in the rest of the week, but I like to do a lot of it at the beginning because it's kind of scary for me. So I like to get it all out of the way in some ways, and then just, then spend the rest of the week following up. So I'm going to teach you how I invite and how I expand my network every single day. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Facebook, and one of the things that I always do is I go over to where it says birthdays, your friends' birthdays. This is a great way to connect with people, and if you're not connecting with people this way, then you are going to want to do this. Okay, so it just takes a simple, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to go through that list, and if you don't have anybody that has birthdays today, use this time to really find more friends, because this is a great way to connect with them. So I have today, I have 9 people that have friends today. Have birthdays today. So I'm going to go through, and on the people that I'm going to say happy birthday to everybody. And then I'm going to also put these people onto a prospective friends list of people that, might be interested. And I'll show you how to do that later. But make sure you just kind of keep their names in mind. So I'm going to give us 2 minutes, just go through and find any friends that have birthdays and wish them a happy birthday and say something meaningful to them, because that's just a great connection, easy connection to make. Okay, so stop wherever you're at. This is the thing about the power hour, the timer that really helps me is sometimes I don't get done, and that's okay. You can always revisit it. You can always come back to it later. And I found that it was hard for me to, oh, sorry, Katie, we were doing birthdays on Facebook. So it's hard for me to stop sometimes when I'm doing move on to the next thing, but you're going to get faster and you're going to get more effective at it. And this is how you don't get caught up in doing just one thing. Okay. You do all that you can in these chunks of time, and then you move on. And like I said, some days I spend more time on inviting than others. And some days, I'm doing follow-ups or whatever. Okay. So that's the first way that I start. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to spend time doing is we are going to spend time meeting new people and basically requesting new people on Facebook. And I'm going to tell you how I do this. Okay, so when there are going to be people on, and people that have birthdays are a great way to do this. Okay, so let me show you, see if I can screen share this. Okay, so I just wished this girl a happy birthday. Oh, it's not sharing. Hold on. Okay, so I just wished this girl a happy birthday. Kiri, I knew her from church growing up. Okay, now this is a great way. So this is what you're going to do. We're going to take 10 minutes and you're going to invite and meet new people. Okay, and this is how you can do it. You go to their friends list. Okay, and I am going to go here and see, we have coach friends in common. So, I would go here and I would go to like some of maybe some of her current city friends. Okay, people that I might not know. Okay, and look, oh, Christina, yep, I know her. Okay, so I would add her as a friend. Okay, and I'd go through, and what I would do after I add her is I'm going to add her to, if you click on the friend request sent, I'm going to add her to another list. Okay, and then I'm going to go down here, and I made a list of I just put prospective clients because it's easy for me to remember. Okay, then she gets added to that list, so I can go back later and look at that list, and that keeps track of people that I've connected with, and I can go back and keep commenting on their stuff. Okay, once she accepts my friend request. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to look at these people, and I always look at the mutual friends and make sure that we don't have any coach friends in common. That's just I have a lot of people in my hometown that have coaches too, so I don't friend them if they have other coach friends in common. Or in this town in Fort Collins, I know for example, Heather and I know a lot of the same people, and if we're friends with them, then that's different. We're both friends, but if there's somebody I don't know, I don't friend request them if I see that Heather's on their list. So that's how I do it. And so I'm going to give you 10 minutes to do that. And actually, I want you to do that for 5 minutes on Facebook, and then you're going to go to your Instagram and you're going to do the same thing, but I'll stop in about 5 minutes in and take you over to Instagram and show you how to do that. Okay. So 5 minutes on Facebook. I want you to make it your aim to do 5 to 10 people right now, at least, if you can. On that, when I added them to that prospective client list, you can make your own list. If you hover over after you send the friend request, you can make your own list by going down to the bottom and scrolling all the way down. It says new list, and you can make a new list. You could put prospective clients, you could put prospective challengers, whatever. I just did prospective clients because that it was on my list already. I don't know what it was from, so I just kept putting them in there, and I don't know how to change the name, so. So I do that with somebody, and then I also look on my friends list and find someone who's my typical person, someone who I would really love to have, as a challenger, maybe so it's a young mom or something, and then I go to her friends list and I do this. So I've already friend requested 8 people. So I don't know where you're at, but that's, you know, I'm making my goal to do 2 more. And the great thing about Facebook is that once they accept your request, you know, it pops up in your messenger and says, you know, say hi to so-and-so or whatever. Well, then you know that they've accepted your request, right? So then the next day in your power hour, you can go through and in your follow-ups, go back through and connect and comment on something on their page, okay? Nothing to do with Beachbody, but just making genuine connections. You can also go up to the little friends icon at the top of your Facebook page, and it'll give you people that they suggest that you may know. Okay, all right, so we're gonna move on. Okay, we're gonna head over to Instagram, okay? And this is what I do on Instagram. This is kind of a new thing for me, so I'm learning. For Instagram, head on over and you're going to use, I learned this method a while ago, and I actually think it might be Micah Folsom that does this. But you're going to use the 5-3-1 method, okay? And I'm going to actually give us 10 minutes on Instagram to do this. Instagram, for some reason, it's a lot less scary for people to accept your friend requests. So you know, it's like it's easier to make connections. So I'm gonna give you a goal of following. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. I'm gonna give you the goal of following 10 to 15 people. Okay, I know that sounds like a lot, but make that your goal. And you're gonna use the 5-3-1 method. Okay, you're going to like 5 of their pictures, and I'll tell you how to find the people. You're gonna like 5 of their pictures. You're gonna comment on 3, and you're gonna follow them. So that's the 1. Okay, so 5-3-1. So like 5 of their pictures. This doesn't have to take long. Don't put a lot of thought into it. Comment on 3. Don't put a lot of thought into it. Just make a genuine connection of like, look at the picture and your first thought, comment on it. So if it's a really cute picture of their kid, comment on it. Say, he's adorable. How, you know, you could even say, how old is he? Or you can wait and do that kind of stuff later for the question stuff. But this is where this tracker comes in really handy, okay? The one that I put in the link of this group. I just printed out a new one for myself. It's this 100 Connections tracker, okay? So you can write their name down in here after you just write it down really quick, what's it called? Their tag, whatever it is, their handle, put it right here, and then you can make a check mark next to it knowing you've connected with them once. So this is a great way because basically you're connecting about 6 times with them over a course of like maybe a week or so before you invite, or 2 weeks, whatever it is, so that you have a relationship with them before you invite them, okay? What I do to find these people, okay, is you can go to maybe someone who you follow that is similar, like maybe a mom, someone who has maybe a homeschool mom, or like go to a hashtag like former teachers or moms or whatever boy mom. Think of something, go and find people, and then you're going to go to their friends list and you're going to request those people. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to that person's page that you're going to request. And if it's private, yes, you can request them. Look at their tag, see if there's somebody that might fit your mold. So for me, I'm going to look for someone that is a mom, somebody who, doesn't have to be this way, but someone maybe who I can connect with on a faith-based thing, okay, whatever. Maybe you're going to go to them, and you can either, it's right here, Katie, in the chat drive, up right above the link right above. Do you see it? Is it there? Did it not show up for you? Let's see. I'll put it, maybe it was up there before you jumped on, so let me see if I'll redo it. Is it there now? Yeah, okay. You're gonna go to that person's page. You're gonna like 5 of their pictures. Just do a quick double tap on their picture to love it, okay? And then comment on 3, write their name down, follow them, and then move on from there, okay? So I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to do this, and like I said, today's my inviting day, so I'm teaching you how I do some inviting. Actually, we'll do 7 minutes on this. I think we'll be okay with that. If they're a coach, don't follow them. Don't waste your time. Make sure they're not a coach. See, I just commented on somebody and then realized, scroll down a little bit further and realized she was a coach. Oops, that's okay. And this takes, like, when I first started doing this, it would take me a lot of time to figure out how to do it. So if you're like, I've only gotten through 3 people, okay, you'll get faster. So don't panic. Okay, that was 8 minutes. I'm going to give us 2 more because I usually spend 10 minutes on this, okay? Because I think this is important. This is where connections start to be made, especially when you're at the beginning of doing this. Okay. All right. So these are always things that you can go back and do if you have extra time and you didn't get through very many. Totally okay. Oops, baby. So she'll go back to sleep. Okay, so next, what we're going to do next is we are going to go back to Facebook. Okay, and we are going to, I just want you to scroll through and find 5 different people. We're going to take, actually, if you can do more, that's great. You're going to find 5 different people and that you have not really commented on, or if this is a great time to go to your prospective friends list once you get that established, and just scroll through and just comment on people's posts just for 5 minutes or so at the most. Okay, just make genuine connections about them, care about them. Don't just be like, oh, hey girl, how you doing? Just like if it's a picture of their kid, comment on their kid, whatever it may be, just go through and spend 5 minutes and you're going to just connect with people. So like I said, today is my inviting day and my computer's frozen. Can you guys see me still? Can you hear me? Okay. It's just Facebook that's frozen apparently. Why is it doing that? Well, this is a waste of my time. I heard someone say recently that if you're just on Facebook and you're scrolling and you're not making connections, you're not doing your job well. I was like, ouch. So, I mean, even if you're just mindlessly scrolling, you can make connections with people. All right, so we're gonna move on. Thankful for my phone because my computer is not working for some reason. Okay. All right. Next thing we are going to do, and yes, I get that we're moving fast, and I know, like I said, don't get overwhelmed. It's okay. Okay. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take 5 minutes, and we are going to, actually, I'm going to skip this part because I've been talking. I'm going to tell you what I would do, and then I'm going to encourage you to do it because I'm going to try to get us off in an hour, even though I've been talking through probably like 10 minutes of it. So it's taking up like 10 minutes. So another thing that I do is I take 5 minutes and I go over to Instagram stories. Okay. And I go over, and if you scroll across the top of your Instagram stories, you know, this is stories are so important. So if you don't have Instagram, I think if you don't have Instagram, you don't have stories, go to the people that are doing their stories at the top, okay? And you click on it and you watch their stories and comment on about, like, you know, a couple of them, okay? And what happens when you do that is that sends a direct message to their inbox, and it's so much more personal than going to their page and doing it. So I like to do Instagram stories too. But that's something I kind of do, like if I'm scrolling, you know, at nighttime or something like that. It's easy to do that and connect with people and do that. So that's another thing that I do for maybe like 5 minutes a day. But the next thing we are going to do now is I want you to plan out your next post, okay? And think about your next post, two posts. What's your next post you're gonna do today? Because all these people that you're friend requesting, the first post that they're gonna see when they add you is probably the post that you're gonna post now. And so what I'm gonna plan to do is I'm gonna make a post of a picture that I took about with my girls yesterday. And I don't know that I'm gonna post it right this second, but I know I'm gonna plan out that I'm gonna post that this morning. Has nothing to do with Beachbody. It's just me and my girls. So when people look at my page, the first thing they think is not, oh, she's a coach. I mean, you don't want them to think that anyways, but they're going to look at that, and hopefully it's somebody that they can connect to as a mom. Okay. And I'm going to do that on my Instagram and on my Facebook. Okay. And then I'm also going to start thinking about when I'm going to post my next transformation or throwback post. Now, this is so important that we keep doing that, because transformation is really what keeps people motivated to see what you're doing. So I'm already thinking about, I'm not going to start inviting to my challenge groups until next week, because next week is leading into August 20th. We're going to start our next team group. Okay. So if that's what you want to shoot for, August 20th, shoot for that. I always start inviting 3 weeks out. So you can think about that. So that would be basically next week that you start doing that, but you need to still post something this week, not necessarily with a call to action for a specific date, but you know, an open invitation to join you. Maybe it's for coaching. So I'm going to focus on coaching this week. And then next week, I'm going to really go into, it's my 3-month anniversary with Beachbody of my life change. So I'm going to really focus on that next month. So I'm already thinking about how I'm going to post that way. So normally I would take 10 minutes and plan all these posts, but I'm going to give you 5 minutes right now to just plan out your next post for the day. And then also just write down your ideas for your transformation post. Now, I would usually use this time that I'm talking to actually create the post. But I'm going to give you 5 minutes to just write down your ideas for this moment. What list, Katie? I just saw your comment.
The list on Facebook, but I found them.
Oh, you found them? Okay.
Yeah. I had to Google it.
Okay, sorry.
No.
I was working, I didn't see it.
Google, I know.
I like to draft up my posts in the notes of my phone so that when I'm ready to post it, the picture's all done and then the notes are there, so I just copy and paste, and it doesn't take very long no matter what time of day I do it. Okay, we're gonna move on. All right. So, like any of these things, if you have extra time at the end, if you have a little bit more than an hour to give, you can go back and do these things. But I believe that inviting is core and key to our business. So that's why I spent a huge chunk of time on it today. Okay. And then what I would do, I would probably do a similar thing again tomorrow. But I would spend a little bit less time inviting and more time following up on people that responded yesterday. Okay. And then I would probably do this pattern again, this exact pattern again on Wednesday, follow up again on Tuesday. Okay. And so you're always constantly, but you're always adding to your network every single day. So that's how I make it through. And so it's my goal to make these connections every single day. And then on Friday, I like Friday to usually be a huge follow-up day. And yes, I still add friends and all that stuff, but I like Friday to be, kind of going into the weekend, just finishing up my follow-ups. Saturday, I do a little bit more connecting, but mostly the weekend is like really just doing business-oriented activities, not necessarily inviting. So, and if you look at the tracker that we did today, we did birthday messages. You would post on Instagram stories, post 2 to 3 times on social media throughout the day. So you take time to plan your post. We expanded our network. We connected with 10 or more. And then what I would do right now, which I'm not going to do because I've been talking, is I would go and I would follow up. We will. Sorry, we have 10 minutes left. I'm going to take you through the last things that I would do to finish up my time. That I would probably spend probably 10 minutes on each of these things. So I would spend 10 minutes on follow-ups. Okay. And then once, literally, like I set my timer and after 10 minutes, I'm done following up. Okay. And if I have time later in the day, like when my kids are in quiet time, then I'll spend a little bit more time following up. And I do spend more time following up when they're responding specifically to my challenge group post. Okay. So if it's more of like they're responding, they want a spot, those are the ones that take more precedence for me, but I'm talking about like following up in terms of connections. Okay, that I would maybe do later. I wouldn't put as much urgency on that in this 10 minutes to finish. And then I follow up with any messages that I have in my inbox. Like right now, I have a girl that responded to my coaching post about when I went running the other day. So I haven't responded to her yet. So I'm going to respond to that. And then I would spend another like 5 to 10 minutes checking into my challenge groups. And then also checking my Coach Online office. So in the Coach Online office, the things that I check in the Coach Online office every day is I check in to look and see what new orders came in. If I have any new customers, I look at my sponsorship drill down, see which coaches are going inactive, and if I need to contact them, I will. And then also the last thing that I do for me is I post and I try to make a post for our team page, and focus on what I'm going to do there. And then also really check in with a personally sponsored coach as needed. So that's kind of how I spend my time. So I'm going to encourage you to spend our last 10 minutes together doing any follow-ups you need to do, checking into your challenge group, and checking your Coach Online office. Okay, so like I said, because I've been talking, we have a little bit less time, but those are the things that I would focus my time on for the remainder of my power hour before I jumped into my workout. But my baby's awake, so I don't know if she's going to let me see what happens. Okay, so when you're adding people to your network, are you adding to your personal account or your fitness account? My personal. I only personally wanted to do separate. My fitness page has never paid off for me on Facebook so far. I've had it for 2 years. It's never paid off for me. I put money into it, and I've always gotten all of my people from my warm market on Facebook and on Instagram. So that's something I'd like to explore, because I know lots of people that have great success with it, but I just haven't had time or energy to figure it out. So I have both, and I kind of post to that one, but like I said, it's never panned out for me. I don't know why, but so I'm adding to my my Facebook page. And then my page is still private, so they can't see my stuff unless they accept my friend request. So then if they choose to you just have to have thicker skin too with this. So like if they choose to not follow you, like if they follow you and then they unfriend you, whatever, not a big deal. Like remember, you have something valuable to offer them. And so we have a responsibility and an opportunity to share with them. And so if they don't accept that, that's on them. It has nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean that you're a weird person, that you're a bad person. It just means that they're not part of your tribe or your vibe. So it's totally okay. And then, so I just have been adding to my Facebook page, and that's worked for me so far. My Facebook page is private. So I make certain posts public. Do you guys know how to do that? So you can make, my computer, there's something wrong. Let me see if I can show you. So so people can't see things when they go to my page unless they're my friend, unless I have made certain, I'm sorry, you guys, I don't know why. I think I need to have my computer have a tune-up or something. Okay, unless you make your post public. So here is my page. If it loads. It's being so slow. Okay. There's a little tab at the top. So like, for example, let me move this. Oh my gosh, why is it doing this? You guys, I'm so sorry. What a waste of time. There we go. Okay, so when I make this post, okay, you can go right here and see right now. It's just friends, except for this. I don't know why it says except that one person. That's weird. You, by the way, you can exclude people from seeing your post. If there's someone you don't want to see your post, like someone that you're like a family member you don't like that gives you a hard time about what you do, you can exclude them from seeing your post, which is nice. But I don't know why this guy says that. So if you want to make your post public, so someone goes to your page, so I keep my page private, but I have my post, like I can make this post public. So now anybody who goes to my name would see this post would pop up. So I have that with some of my transformation. I have that with some of my transformation posts. Like, so people, if they go to my page, they can see that's what I do. But I like to keep it like kind of a little contained, just because it leaves a little bit of like, not only mystery to people, but also like, I just don't want my family out there on social. I mean, they kind of are, but just I'm careful. I post more on Facebook than I do on Instagram. So that's just me personally. So, yeah. Any other questions? Hopefully that was that helpful to kind of see what I do. And then, so just to kind of finish up here, so this is not a hard and fast, like you need to do this every single time the way that I do it. This is just what I do. And I some days I do it like this. Other days I spend more time following up. Other days, like on, like tomorrow when I do my inviting, it's because it's the end of the month. My invites are going to be focused mostly on coaching. So I'll be adding to my network, but I'm going to be going to people specifically that I see coaching potential in. I'm going to be reaching out to them and saying to them, hey, you are so good at this. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? I'm just going to keep it very simple and just reach out to people that maybe have talked to me about it in the past. I'm going to follow up with people who I've added to the sneak peek into coaching that maybe didn't ever respond. I'm going to go through that list tomorrow. I'm also going to go through my challengers and do that as well. So like, for example, for me, with the point that I'm at, I honestly probably spend more than an hour a day on the business, like, because I do work in Power Pockets later in the day, because lots of times I run out of time to respond to my challenge groups during my power hour time. So to me, that's fun. I don't mind doing that for like 20 minutes later during quiet time, spending time doing that, or at night after the kids go to bed. That's something that I kind of wiggle around personally, but you can work that into your power hour if that's what you want to do too. But that's, I like to do the bulk majority of things that are going to move my business forward and bring new people in during my power hour. So that's kind of what I do. I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Feel free to, just to come back and watch us send this to your new coaches. I'm going to be putting this training into our new coach training that I'm working on so that people can look at this and do a live power hour with us. You can go back and follow along with this video. You can do it again. You can catch things you didn't catch before. But really, you want to make sure you're utilizing Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is where everything is heading. Really use that 5-3-1 method when you're connecting with people. It's really, really effective. So if you're mindlessly scrolling at night, just make it your aim to do the 5-3-1 method while you're connecting with people and enjoying seeing what they're doing. Just because we all do it, we all scroll, right? And don't let it be a waste of your time. Let it be connection even when you're just mindlessly doing it. So, all right, any questions? No? All right, I'm gonna go get the baby up and see if she'll let me do my workout. All right, you guys. Yeah, hopefully it was helpful. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for hopping on.